Assalamu alaikum. I'm Mohammed Haris and this is Fears, where stories don't whisper, fear speaks. Tonight you'll hear bloody, real and terrifying tales told by none other than Killer Droid, who doesn't just narrate, she clings to your mind. If you're alone or feel like someone's watching you, it's better you stop this video right now, because these stories attack in silence. But if you truly think you're brave, then watch till the end and drop a comment. Fears can't harm me. Subscribe to Fears, because the next story might be right behind you. Recite Ayatul Kursi. The tale is about to begin.
When we moved into the duplex on Willow Creek Road, it felt like a new start. My mom was trying to piece things back together after the divorce, and this place was all we could afford. The other unit was occupied by a quiet man named Victor. Worked night shifts, rarely seen. He was polite, always nodded when we passed, but never spoke more than a sentence. About 2 months in, strange things started happening in our unit. Our furniture shifted slightly at night. The dishes rattled in the cabinets without reason. We chalked it up to old pipes, or maybe raccoons. But then I started waking up to whispering not inside the house, but under it. One night, when my mom was working late, I decided to investigate. I opened the crawlspace in the hallway floor. The air that hit me was icy and damp. With a flashlight, I slid inside, expecting to see pipes or dirt. Instead, I saw something much worse. There was a blanket, food wrappers, a notebook, and directly beneath where my bed would be a small hole, with a chair facing upward, aimed at the floorboards above. I screamed and scrambled out. We called the police. They arrested Victor that night, finding a network of tunnels and crawlways he'd carved beneath both units. He had been watching us sleep, listening, documenting everything. One of the notebooks had pages filled with sketches of me and my mom. We moved out the next day, never looking back. In the fall of 2019, I rented a small guest house behind an older woman's property in Oregon. Her name was Margaret Kind, maybe too kind. She brought me soup, cookies, even offered to clean my place. I always declined politely, but I never questioned her intentions. Not until the night I found the camera. It was tucked inside a hollowed-out book on my bookshelf. I didn't place it there. I didn't own that book. There was a tiny red light blinking, and it was pointed directly at my bed. I froze. My heart pounded like a drum in my ears. The police took the camera for evidence, but the real horror came 2 days later. When they searched Margaret's house, they found a hidden room filled with monitors, VHS tapes, and notes with timestamps. She had been watching not just me, but the previous tenants too, some going back a decade. She never left her property because she didn't need to. She lived through our lives, our routines, our vulnerabilities. One tape showed me sleeping, twitching from a nightmare, and a shadow moving across the screen that wasn't mine. They never figured out how she entered the guest house without me knowing. No charges were filed. She was deemed mentally unstable and sent to a care home. But I still don't sleep without checking every corner of every room. And I never trust a neighbor again. Everyone in the neighborhood loved Carl. Always smiling, always watering his garden, waving to kids. He had a greenhouse full of beautiful orchids and roses, and he gave cuttings to new neighbors. It made me sick to admit, he reminded me of my grandfather. But something about his smile was wrong. Too wide, Too frequent. Too rehearsed. My wife, Dana, began acting strange. She started visiting Carl during the day. She'd come back with flowers and excuses. "He's just lonely," she said. One night I followed her. I watched from the street as she stepped into his house. She didn't come out for hours. When I confronted her, she broke down crying. Said Carl had shown her something horrible and beautiful. I went over the next day, pretending to borrow a tool. He smiled and invited me in. The scent of fresh flowers was overpowering, like a trap. He led me to the basement without a word. There were no plants down there. Just jars, hundreds of them. Each with something floating inside. Hair, teeth, eyes, preserved pieces of people, Carl whispered. They all smiled too. Then he lunged. I barely got out. Police found his greenhouse had a compost pit filled with bones. Carl vanished before they could arrest him. His house still stands empty, but some say they see a figure smiling in the windows at night.
These were tonight's stories, but remember, they didn't come to scare you, they came to wake you up. If your heart's still beating, you belong to Fears. Subscribe, hit the bell, because fear doesn't knock, and if you feel a shadow move, and don't turn around. The story has ended us, but someone's still watching you.